Georgia girls with all their dirty little heads. They were at a factory farm in Georgia that was hit by a tornado, and it destroyed the sheds and killed thousands of birds, but there were at least hundreds of survivors. Corporate owners had sent in bulldozers to like scoop up the wreckage, including live animals. And I got 7 of them. Who we determined one of them, her injuries were too severe, and the most humane thing was to euthanize her. But the other 6 came home with me. Cornish crosses on factory farms are killed. They're sent to slaughter at 6 to 8 weeks old. But like one thing I had never thought about before them is that all of those chickens had a mom. They at the hatchery, they have adult hens who are laying eggs. These are the moms. And they typically will keep the moms alive until they're maybe like a year and a half. And then they also get sent for slaughter.
JoJo Eloise, she had been kept at this factory farm where she was one of the breeding moms. Tornado knocked down the factory, and she didn't, no food or water, living in filth for weeks before she was rescued. She got here, she couldn't walk, she was so weak. Her sisters had varying degrees of injuries, from deep lacerations to broken bones. She didn't have any like obvious wounds, but she couldn't walk when she got here. And I remember one day I took her outside because she didn't have any lacerations or anything. She could be outside. And I was doing some gardening. It was spring. It was about a month after they had gotten here. I put her under the shade of the persimmon tree while I was doing some gardening. And she hadn't walked since she got here. And at some point I looked over and she was like taking a couple steps toward me, a couple like wobbly steps. And then she'd like plop down and rest. And then she'd take a couple more steps, plop down and rest. And I just sat and kind of like watched her. And she ended up coming all the way over and climbing into my lap. And then for her whole life, she loved to be held, loved to be snuggled. She was a chicken who I could hand off to a visitor, and she enjoyed, loved the attention. She was so comfortable. Her just incredibly sweet nature, like so filled with goodness. And then this was a safe space where nobody was going to hurt her. There were 3 Georgia girls, and they would always come running around the corner at snack time. And that day, only 2 came running around the corner. So Violet, my helper, came and found me and said she couldn't find the 3rd Georgia girl. And in my mind, I knew it was JoJo. But she looked about as peaceful as it could have been. She was like right across from Harry, her boyfriend Harry. And, right in the area where all the Georgia girls like to just like hang out and dust bathe. And she was just in this like shady little spot in the bushes. She was just an angel. She was just a perfect little angel. When people met JoJo Eloise, I think that people were just always like so surprised at how incredibly sweet she was. Like, I remember a girl coming and visiting Heidi, a really sweet girl who was not vegetarian at all. And she held JoJo and rubbed her little cheeks, and JoJo snuggled in like she would do. And I remember Heidi saying, like, I had no idea that this is what chickens were like. Like, how could I eat somebody who's like this? And she never ate chicken again.